Oh no, oh no, oh no. I think we are in much bigger trouble than we thought. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to remind you of what John Steenhuisen, leader of the DA, said when they rejected the 1% budget, not the first time. And then I'm going to play you Minister of Finance, humbled Minister of Finance, literally reading John Steenhuisen's speech. And then we're going to close it with a shocking, crazy, unbelievable admission of one of the ANC leaders who's in charge of the economy, and then give you my biblical reaction. Whoo! Okay, let's remember.
All right, thank you so much. Now that the Finance Minister has tabled his budget speech, we take political reactions, starting with DA Leader John Steenhuisen. John, the Minister announcing a 1 percentage point VAT increase over the next 2 years, taking it to 16%. As the DA, do you accept the proposal?
As I said on the way into the budget, we would not be voting for it. It's now become clear why we will not be voting for this budget in its current form. We've been very clear from the beginning that we don't believe that a VAT increase is the right way to proceed, especially if it is not accompanied with bold economic reforms. They're going to focus on going for growth. If we don't get growth, then we're going to be sitting back in October as a government, back in February next year, scrabbling around looking for scraps of money to be able to do what we need to do. We have a medium-term development plan that says that we must lower the cost of living, that says we must absolutely go for economic growth, and that we must make sure that we make government more efficient. There are a number of huge, bold announcements that could have been made today that will send the right message out. Instead, we're back in borrow, cut, tax and spend.
Without the DA, can the ANC-led coalition be able to pass this budget?
Well, it's odd to me that a budget would be tabled without confidence that you have a majority. The ANC have a 39% in Parliament. They need other people to pass it. If there are other parties that want to support a 1% increase in VAT over the 2 years cumulatively, then obviously they must enter into the negotiations. We are willing to keep the door open to discuss before the instruments come to the floor of Parliament. The fiscal framework, the Money Laws Amendment Bill, and of course the Division of Revenue Act. There is still some time for us to be able to have another chat and another look about what we can do to negotiate further on these, and we remain open to doing so. But this has to be a budget that actually takes account the views and opinions of all of its people, and there are some things that we want. We've said very clearly, we're in this government for growth and jobs. If we are not going to take the bold decisions that go hard for growth and jobs, well then we're going to not lend our support and vote to budgets that don't speak to that. And I hope that sanity is going to prevail. I hope that now we can enter into a more mature period of discussing this, because as this budget currently sits today, it has 39 to 40% of the support. Needs 50% plus one to get over.
Lastly, the Minister announcing that the recommendations for the spending reviews will be tabled before Cabinet in the next month. What are you hoping that will come out of those recommendations?
We had made a number of recommendations around spending reviews. It's something that we support, but I think I would much rather had some very concrete time frames, decisions that before with a simple speech was made. And that was one of the things that we've asked quite clearly for, was to be able to have sight of those things, along with some other things that we believe are very important. Things that have been spoken about in every budget, but not done. And that for me is a frustration. We needed a budget today that was going to make a big bunker-busting, bold dash for growth. And this budget, as I said, is going to harm poorer South Africans and the middle class by increasing VAT. Personal income tax is also going up because there's no provision for bracket creep. And those things perhaps could have been negotiated, but not in an environment where you're not in the same budget putting the big, bold decisions on the table.
All right, thank you so much, John Steenhuisen, the leader.
All right, so it was simple. Growth and jobs. Make more money, basically, rather than taking more money. Because you need more money. Oh, then we could make more money or take more money. No, let's not take more money. Let's make more money. Now, the next guy is going to sort this out and clarify.
Of the Democratic Alliance, Mineral and Petroleum Resources Minister Gwede Mantashe, who is also the national chairperson of the ANC. Your partners in the GNU, the Democratic Alliance, say they will not be supporting this budget. Your reaction to that?
No, the issue is that we've been engaging them quite for some time. They want to counterpose everything else on battles that they have lost. They want to counterpose the budget to Bela Bill, to NHI, to expropriation. And we say to them, we cannot counterpose political processes to a budget. A budget is for the country to work, and we cannot succumb to that they exchange political issues for the budget. So they will have to support the budget. Others will support it because it is focused on allocations, on issues of spending, education, health, infrastructure, social grants. Those are the issues that talk to our people, not have a percent VAT.
The question now, will the ANC get enough support to be able to pass the budget as well as the money bills?
It depends on parties in parliament. Actually, you will see when this debate comes back, it is going to split society into two, black and white. And that is what we should avoid at all costs. Unify society. If we want to polarize it, we can polarize it. But the reality is that a budget is not an ANC budget. It's a budget for the country.
All right, thank you so much.
Okay. And so now we move on to today. Okay, we move on to today. Oh gosh, what buffoonery. Okay, we move on to today. The humbled Minister of Finance forced to read Steenhuisen's speech. Not talking about all the stuff that we've just heard. And this is him. Let's hear for yourself.
We're going to cross live now to the National Treasury briefing.
We must do more with less, review government spending critically, root out waste. Every cent of public money must be spent wisely. The second issue, we must strengthen revenue collection. We must strengthen revenue collection. As you are aware, in the same budget, I'm making provision for SARS to collect more, particularly for those who still owe SARS, to deal with illicit trading. The third area, we must lay strong foundations for economic growth. Job creation is the #1 priority. We must remove barriers to investment, unlock private sector capital, and expand opportunities for all South Africans. Through initiatives like Operation Vula, which I assume you all know it by now, we have already seen what focused collaboration can achieve, and will now accelerate these reforms. The challenges ahead are serious but not insurmountable. If we work together, stay focused, and persevere, we can chart a better course for our economy and our people. That is my commitment to South Africans, and that is what we aim to achieve when we table the new budget on the 21st of May 2025. The statement before you, which I hope has been circulated, outlines the various technical processes we will undertake in the period leading to the 21st of May. And we're here to take any further questions you may have on this particular matter. The DG has instructed me to tell you that between now and the 21st, I won't talk to you.
Please.
It's a closed period. However much I would have liked to talk to you, that's an instruction from the DG. He normally gives us that instruction. He knows politicians like to waffle now and again. Unfortunately, this is my last appearance until the 21st. Thank you very much. For today, utilize the opportunity and ask me as you can. Thank you.
Somebody find that DJ and say thank you for all of us. So his speech is pretty much everything that the DA has been saying to them all along. Jobs, growth, Operation Vulindlela, I'm sure you have all heard about it by now. Yes, we have. I heard about it 50 times. Every time they spoke about what their position is on the budget, that Vulindlela, the cutting expenditure, there needs to be timelines. They did bring up expropriation, and they clarified that it's because it's directly linked to growth and opportunities because it blocks investment, which humbled Godongwana now has to read all of that to us and promise us that this time he will work together. Oh man. Then we get a shocking, like what? Statement from the ANC leader in charge of economic something. He just made an amazing discovery, which he is about to share with us now. He has learned a lesson. He has discovered. He has gotten a revelation together with the ANC. And here is the great lesson that he's learned.
But what has happened over there is that the National Treasury would come to Cabinet to present a proposal of the budget, including on tax adjustment, which is what happened this time around. Now, everyone was uncomfortable with that 2%. It's quite clear now, Amanda, that that approach of the National Treasury coming to Cabinet on the eve of presenting the budget speech is no longer workable. So that's the one part that the ANC has agreed that it has got to change completely. And I think the Minister of Finance also made that point, that even for the 21st of May one, they will have to have a much more extended consultation process. Our argument, for instance, as the ANC, is that the budget consultation process will have to have a longer lead period, starting from the period of the MTPPS. So once Treasury announces the medium-term budget policy statement, we have no choice but to start getting into the political process of discussing with everyone in Parliament on what that will look like. It's the effect of democratizing the process that has been working in a different institutional manner since 1994. So there are positives to this and there are negatives, of course, because it delayed us. But it's good that everyone now knows about the budget process and they can actually express themselves fully. It's a positive note. Many South Africans didn't know that actually when the Minister of Finance speaks in February, that's not the final budget, that there is quite a longer process that follows. So it's a good thing. Everyone has learned out of this. That's the positive. We will have to follow through with that consultation so that we don't get ourselves into this.
Everyone now knows that things have changed and the budget can't just go and be delivered and presented to the cabinet a day before, but that there are other influences and there's a political process that needs to happen before getting votes for the budget. Now everyone knows. All along, nobody knew that anything to do with decision making had changed. But now we get it. Now everyone knows. I'm sorry. Now everyone knows. Here's my biblical reaction. Proverbs 22:23 says, a prudent man foresees evil and hides himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. What is prudence? Prudent means you sort of can, think 3 steps ahead. You can sort of see what's coming next. You can sort of figure out that, oh, well, if there's 1 and 2, then surely 3 is coming. But the simple means, simple just means simple, basic, plain. How basic are these people? How simple are they? How plain? I don't know. Does this require deep perception on the 29th of May when you see you're no longer the majority? On the 30th of April, you go, oh, now I realize I can't just take decisions on my own. How basic are these people? How basic can you get? The ANC has got to be the most basic organization ever. And here's the thing when you deal with the simple, is that as things go, you keep thinking there's some kind of strategy to the madness until you get to a place where you realize, oh, I'm complicating this thing. These people are not complex at all. They are basic. They are simple. They are plain. They just, oh, we are in trouble. We are in trouble. How does that person run a complex economy like South Africa? No wonder they keep making dumb decisions. They really don't get it. They are not prudent. They can't see how expropriation affects growth. They can't see how any law they pass makes people poor. Basic, simple. Either that or their philosophy has gotten them hung up in the worst type of arrogance ever. And he who exalts himself will be humbled. Oh, the guy who said, if you don't vote, then I don't know how you can be in government, is now, next time he has their speech, we must work on growth, we must work on investment and vulindlela, and we must make efficient spending. Humbled reading the DA script. Oh man, I don't have anything deep to say except the ANC is just working out to be a simple, basic, arrogant party. Simple and basic because 12 months later they are learning that they lost the vote. Arrogant because 12 months later they still think they can just push decisions on their own because they have an old man who takes a budget issue and goes into, this is gonna be about black and white. No man can serve two masters. Either he'll love the one, hate the other, or he'll respect the one and disrespect the other. You cannot serve God and Karl Marx. Cling, cling. ring the bell so you can catch the next video next time. It's been awesome speaking to you. So let's make history together. Let's hear from you below. Am I overreacting? Let me hear from you. Am I missing something? Please educate me.